What do you do if you're the Warriors? Have they already made up their mind that there's not a deal out there that could help us?
There's something about OKC that unlocks the Warriors, and they play really well.
Right.
I don't know what that is, though.
Key word for you to try to get a chance to win a spot in knockout tournament. Again, the tournament will be March 3rd, a Monday. March 3rd, Monday. Listen in the 8 a.m. hour, 12 p.m. hour, 4 p.m. hour as well. Have to be 18 to win and be a California resident.
Does it feel like the All-Star game's coming?
We're just so caught up with the Warrior stuff. Like when I'm down there at Chase, I can feel it.
Okay.
I can feel it. But overall in the city,
I don't feel it.
Well, because I'm not in the streets like that, so I don't know.
Well, I walk around all the time, and I'm, in and out of gyms, all different parts of the city. I haven't felt it just yet. But I bet when the calendar turns to February, we'll start to feel it.
I could feel it a little differently because I'm around it a little bit more.
Well, you're at the epicenter, which is Chase Center.
Epicenter. Even I know they got a Foot Locker All Access for the All-Star game happening on Powell, and I believe, what is it, Powell and Pine? I could be wrong, but around there on Powell Street, they're going to have something there, and I can start to see it ramp up a little bit, but I also believe that if I was walking around in the streets or walking around downtown, you'll see more All-Star signage. So I do think they're going to ramp it up over the next week or two.
Well, that's what I was going to point out. You would think that you would see like banners or something up around the Embarcadero or along the streets, like the All-Star game's coming, but nothing.
Nothing yet. That's a little surprising.
It is.
A little surprising.
But again, we're about 2.5 weeks away, so let's allow it to play itself out. I'm ready to see like Giannis and Wemby rode a cable car.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be.
I am kind of here for that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great when you actually see the All-Star.
Kevin Durant rides his bicycle on 6th and Market.
When you see like the Bay Bridge next to the players at the All-Star game, and they got the Bay Bridge logo next to it, I'm like, all right, cool. Kevin Durant, 6th and Market.
It's a joke.
I know. You love 6th and Market, man. You love 6th and Market.
Well, that's where we need to start.
Well, they used to have a great nightclub there on 6th and Market.
Yeah,
reggae club.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I never had a problem there. Homeless people.
The downstairs was
great. It was unbelievable.
And many clouds of smoke
in
an era when you weren't allowed to indoors.
Hey, well, you know what?
Now there's that coffee shop right there that everyone waits for. It's like the hipster coffee shop. I'm like, I cannot believe that's a coffee shop.
Hey, 6th and Market. They're not scared.
Did you ever shop at Oxford's?
Oh, yeah. All down there. Come on, man. I was home away from home.
I wore
Midtown Rags, Market Street. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys are all fearful of 6th and Market.
I had the Nate Dogg hat.
You shopped there for many, many years and had no worries in the world.
Did you have camouflage pants?
No, yeah, but no, forget
the
camouflage.
Did you have camouflage pants?
Stop moving on.
Did you have camo pants?
I didn't have camo pants.
Don't lie to me.
I had camo shorts. Camo shorts.
Which color?
Camo shorts from Old Navy.
They had the all whites, the white and grays. They had the gray and baby blue. They had the khaki. Which one were your favorite, though?
Oh, the khaki and the green.
The Desert Storms?
The Desert Storms, absolutely. But you shop down there. So that's why I don't get all the 6th and Market.
How popular were the camos?
Hold on. You're trying to move on to something else.
I am.
You're on different hype here. I had camo shorts for a long time. They go with anything.
Green? You had the
green ones. Oh, yeah. I need some. You know what? I always wanted camo pants. I'm going to go get me some camo pants, actually. Because camo pants hit hard. You can wear it with a black tee, white tee.
Is making a comeback?
Do you guys know what we're even talking about?
Yes, camouflage pants.
No, I know, but it was a huge thing.
Yes, we know.
In like the hip-hop culture.
Yeah.
But see,
we're only 10 years younger than you. We aren't that far behind you guys.
Yeah,
you guys don't know.
You guys are not that old.
I'm not. Don't put you guys in that. That's a Shasky thing.
You guys are not that old. I'm saying you guys are not that old.
But I'm saying that's a Shasky thing, calling you guys little babies. I'm not going to do that.
I have 5 older brothers, so I have every iteration of different styles.
So they were rocking camos down in Monterey.
Yes.
Wow. They were rocking camos everywhere.
You think Monterey's like Kansas or something? It's an hour and a half away from here.
This guy's one of one. Listen, he was down here shopping at Market Street. There was nothing but hooligans down there at Market Street during those days. Midtown Rags, Oxford's. You had the Fun Center.
Yes.
Yeah, you shopped down there without a worry in the spot. You shopped down there without a worry in the world.
Well, that was because I used to roll deep, and then me and my boy Eddie McHugh would go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, because you're looking for girls. There was girls walking around. There was a who's who in the Bay Area. You're trying to get numbers. You're trying to get outfits. You just want to be in the know. Downtown was popping. So that's why this whole thing, like, oh my God, we're so scared of 6th and Market. The last time you got out the car and walked down 6th and Market.
My algorithm's changed since I was 21, Bonte. I don't know if you know this.
His iTunes playlist has changed since then.
His iTunes playlist has changed.
I have deleted certain songs.
Hey, I haven't deleted.
3-6 Mafia, there are some songs that 3-6 has that I've had to delete from the phone. Classics.
Oscar award winning 3-6 Mafia.
Alex Cobb.
I'm not deleting any songs. I'm just not going to play the songs.
Alex Cobb.
We would love to. What?
I just don't understand the logic why you have to delete them from your phone.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, is someone going to go through your phone like, what's going on with this song here? And then, like, judge you for it? I don't.
Well, you can't bump Ignition Remix anymore. You just can't. And it's one of the great songs ever, but you can't play it anymore because the guy.
I had to delete the Jay-Z and R. Kelly album. So it hurt me.
We all shot down there in the midst of the TL. When dudes were, we be in Midtown Racks with dudes selling coke right across the street. We didn't care.
Jasky, were you a Slim Shady guy? Did you shave your head and do the bleach blonde hair?
I didn't need bleach blonde. I had bleach blonde hair.
Okay, well, I'm
Step one.
Naturally.
But so you rocked that? You were Marshall Mathers 2.0 or what?
I had a shaved head before Eminem was even on the scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he got it from you.
No, this is what we would do in my house. No, because look, I had the crew cut my whole life. But in the summer, we'd get a shaved head so that you didn't need a haircut all summer. That's what we always did. You shaved your head at the beginning of summer. You did it again.
It's cheaper too. My mom always
you did it again probably in July, and then you let it grow out until like school year. But for school year, crew cut always.
So where do you think the NBA All-Stars will be shopping when they come to town?
That's a great
Online.
point, man. Nike Town. You got Nike Town. Nike Town.
Bonte, let me show you where all the Gucci shops are.
No, they know where the Gucci shops are. Their handlers know where the Gucci shops are. Trust me, NBA players know where the Gucci's and the Goyards and the Louis Vuittons and the YSL, St. Laurent. They know where all that stuff is.
How important do you guys think, like, for the image of San Francisco, this All-Star game is?
It's massive.
I feel like it's pretty important.
It's massive. We got to hit a home run. Can't one player get robbed? Number one, not one player can get robbed.
I don't even speak that into existence.
No, I'm not trying. But I'm just being. Right. You asked me how does it look good?
I immediately thought of Ricky Pearsall. I immediately thought of Ricky Pearsall.
We cannot be bipping cars.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but
like I'm thinking of that as a situation like that happened within 6 months ago.
No doubt.
I know.
If I'm an athlete, like that kind of scares me.
You can't have cars bipped.
I walk Union Square every day, and I'm giving you my particular opinion. There is multiple cop cars with lights on every day, and it has, look, I'm dead serious. I'm not just saying this because I'm biased and I love the city. It has changed. It's a little better. Are there still random people sleeping in, random stuff? Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. And it's the worst on the first. It just is. When people get those,
Well, we can't bip cars. We got don't bip cars. Don't rob anybody. Show great hospitality.
I think the Chase Center, I'm going to be real. I was just at Chase Center for the Bruce Mahoney. You're there all the time. I am blown away that is part of the city because it's so unlike anything else in the city.
It's beautiful.
The cleanliness, the views, how it looks, everything's brand new. Where a lot of the infrastructure is older throughout the city. It is brand freaking new down there. It's going to present well.
But it's also...
At least that area, I'm saying.
By the way, there's going to be a new shoe palace in Union Square for All-Star. That's pretty cool. I know Mitchell and Ness, my boy Josh out there working at Mitchell and Ness. They're going to have their crew out here. I know Chris in 1985 Gallery. They're going to be doing something during the All-Star week.
Nice.
So it's going to be a lot going on here. And I think it's the start, right? Because you have the World Cup. You've got the Super Bowl 60 coming again. This is a very important year for the city of San Francisco to really show itself and show that we are the best city in the world. Because Super Bowl 60, all the events are going to be downtown. Moscone Center, and for Super Bowl 50, it was a lot of fun.
I had a great time.
It was a great time. I didn't hear any problems. I went to Embarcadero. I was down in San Jose for Media Day. I was everywhere. I was everywhere.
Where is everybody staying? And the NBA players, do we know where they're staying?
Well, they probably know where they're staying. We probably shouldn't let people.
I'm not trying to put it on blast because last time it was pretty well known. Some of the NFL officials were staying at the Hilton Union Square, and others were at the JW Marriott. Some were at the Ritz-Carlton. They were all spread out.
Think of 5-star hotels, and they're probably going to be there.
What's your favorite of the hotels around here?
Well, I haven't stayed in many hotels here.
You never done a staycation?
We did one at what's the one with the elevators going up and down on Powell and Gary?
Oh yeah, the big elevator.
Big elevators. Is that the not the St. Francis? Is it? It's
yeah, it is the St. Francis.
St. Francis.
Yes.
I would always love to say it to Weston or the St. Regis. That'd be nice. Jason,
there is no signage though.
That is surprising me. I haven't looked for it. Now that I think about it, I need to look for it more because I haven't seen a lot of signage. I've been looking at you
wearing that logo all morning.
Speaking of which, are you mad about the All-Star reserves?
I'm not mad about any. The All-Star game is for a younger generation. Yeah. Just in general. I've basically resigned myself to understanding that it's not for me. At one point it was for me. When They used to have the Saturday with Ahmad Rashad.
Oh, yeah, with the
build-up?
mascots. Yeah,
it was awesome. Like, I always loved it as a child. I try to view it through a kid's lens. And, like, again, I'm coaching the 8th graders right now. Like, they're going to love all this stuff.
Like, I wanted to see LaMelo Ball come to the Bay Area. I thought that would have been fun. And he got snubbed out the All-Star game. But, teams not winning games. So I'm not too Domantas Sabonis. Sacramento's bitching and moaning about that.
Well, he deserved to be an All-Star.
He did, and I get it.
42 double-doubles, and he had a triple-double the other day.
You know what? He'll probably get in because of injuries. So somebody's always going to be snubbed. We'll see. Let's go to Brian in Palo Alto. What's happening?
Morning, guys. Happy Friday. How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
It's a payday today. Did you get paid too, BPA? You get paid every day.
I don't know. I did.
I mean, you don't even look at the bank account no more. That's how much you balling, man.
My wife handles that. So.
Wait a minute. Wait. I mean, you don't have a secret credit card?
No, I don't actually. No, I don't have a secret credit card. Wait, do you?
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, come on. You asked that like a guy that's got secrets. All right. So, yeah, my take is, I think I'm resigned. They're not going to make a move. Pretty convinced the master plan is just keep kicking the potential big moves 6 months down the line until Steph retires or Steph demands a trade. They're not going to get it done. It's, the Lakers who cried. It's the Lakers who. What's that?
I know you wanted to be a GM, and we had this whole bit if you were a GM. But if you were a GM of the Warriors right now,
I'm not a GM, even though I'd love to be one.
Such a great line. I love it.
Such a great line. But listen, who would you be willing to move? Everybody except for Steph. Like what do they need in your opinion the most? What is the priority they should be looking at?
Well, I'm not a GM. First off, right? Let's make that clear. I mean, I think you have to have a second option, a second scorer, whether that's a Levine or a Vukovic or whomever it is. I would agree Jimmy Butler's probably not a great fit, mostly because he's really a mid-range shooter, right? Not really a three-point shooter, which just feels like a weird fit with the Warriors. But yeah, I mean, trades are hard, as Farhan said. For those who are paid well to be, general managers in the National Basketball Association or in the Major League Baseball, trades are hard is not an acceptable response. And Mike Dunleavy doesn't exactly have a great track record with the Warriors as a player. And so, yeah, that's what it is. They used to have, I think, one of Lacob's great talents in the early days as a VC, you just get the most talented people in the room. And now we've gone, Jerry Jones Lacob style, right? Where you don't have the most talented guys in the room. You have your sons in the room who are not the most talented guys to be making basketball decisions. And Mike Dunleavy Jr., who would Mike get hired by any of the other 31 teams in the NBA to be a GM? No, he wouldn't. So, yeah, that's my take is, in the same way, nobody hired Nick Sorensen to be a defensive coordinator, right?
BPA, if the Warriors don't make a move at the deadline, do you think that's a fireable offense?
It is to me, but it's not to Joe. And I think, if he doesn't do it, he's probably doing Joe's bidding.
Wow.
Right? I think, I think a lot of people feel like Joe, I think Joe wants to move on from the Steph era. And I think that there's a very toxic segment of the Warrior fan base that does too. Small, but extraordinarily annoying.
Forget that. I got a question about the GM thing.
Yeah, BPA,
I'm dead serious when I say this. No, forget that. Because
what is he talking about? He wants to run off Steph?
I don't want you to be triggered.
I'm not triggered. I'm not going to get triggered. Bob Myers. I'm not letting a few games have more weight than the others.
It does. It probably changes it more than it should. You have to temper that, though. You have to look at the body of work and say, how real is this? The issue, though, what you're saying is you have to stop. You say you win 4 in a row before the deadline or win 3 in a row. You have to kind of push back on that and go, okay, that was just 3 games out of 48. Let's just pause a little bit. But it's hard to do that sometimes.
Hard to do that. But also, Joe, the mindset of a GM before the trade deadline is also fascinating.
It's pretty rough. I mean, it's much more than maybe the public realizes, this isn't like you woke up 2 days before the deadline and decided to make a trade. I can tell you about the Wiggins one we did. It's pretty exhausting from the standpoint of just running out a ton of ground balls. I mean, most of the stuff you discuss in detail, you don't end up doing, or you'll move forward, you'll get to the 10-yard line with another team and they'll just pull out and say they got a better deal somewhere else, or they'll change the deal, or something will happen. A guy will sprain his ankle, the deal's off. Somebody's medicals will come back negatively. But every time you go through it, you learn something, and you learn about your peers. You learn who you can trust. You learn about your own group. Some people in the group are more aggressive, some more conservative. Ultimately, it's Joe's team. It's his call. And I accepted that, and that's what every organization operates under, is it's the owner's team.
So I love fantasizing about the woulda, coulda, shoulda deals.
Yep.
I love hearing these things.
Right. And it just proves that they're not easy. You heard it from Bob. Team could pull out in a blink of an eye. Oh, we got a better deal somewhere else. You could be at the 10-yard line, you'd be at the goal line, about to score a touchdown. Boom, guy sprains his ankle. Deal off the table. Oh, a guy may go for 40. Well, you know what? Now, instead of 2 first-round picks, I want 3 first-round picks. It's just a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. And Bob said it. He goes, I don't think the public understands what it's like. He goes, it's a nightmare a week before the deadline. So imagine what Dunleavy and Lacob and company are going through right now. Is you got this basketball team that's 24-23. You've been injured. You've had 28 different starting lineups. You really don't know who you are because you haven't been healthy. But then you have all these parts that maybe sometimes they fit together, sometimes they don't. What are they going through right now? It's got to be hell down there at Chase Center.
Well, and I think when I look at what they've done the last couple games, I would feel significantly more encouraged if Kuminga and Dre were there. Because I know once those guys come back, it's going to look a lot different.
Exactly. Another adjustment.
All the combinations are all going to change. And so that's why I think it's so perplexing, the Oklahoma City win, because you don't know what to make of that. Is that a one-off because of the lineup that you played, which you're not really going to play in other situations? Mm-hmm. Or is that really a testament to what you could do if those guys weren't here? I don't know. I don't know how to weigh it. It's hard for me to think, though, on surface level, that's who they are. To me, there has to be some sort of there's something about OKC that unlocks the Warriors, and they play really well.
Right.
I don't know what that is, though.
Eddie Johnson needs to push back to 8:40. All right, we could delay him 10 minutes. He's probably going to a golf course. He's in town. We got to get him. We got to golf with him one day, Shasky. Got to get this guy. He always talks about it.
Well, I mean, my buddy Preston has been begging you to go golfing. Well, Preston, by the way, is an absolute stick.
Yeah,
guy's a plus golfer. He's incredible.
And I've never swung a club before, so
I know. I swung yesterday.
Preston's not going to have fun golfing with me. I'm talking about Eddie Johnson, though.
Yeah,
Preston's got money, right?
What, Preston?
Preston's got
I'm
deep
not going to
pockets.
put his business out there. He's just a great guy.
No, because the reason why I'm not trying to put his business out there. I'm saying, hey, Preston. No one can play golf, but if we want to play golf with Eddie Johnson,
no, Preston would. I'm not trying to be like that. Yeah. He's that good. I'd put him up against just about anybody.
Well, we got the great line when Eddie Johnson says, "You better bring a little cash."
Well,
so that's what we're talking about here. We go to the O Club. Hey, Preston, bring out the dollars. Take this man's money, Preston.
Let me tell you, the lake course will decimate your ego when it comes to being a golfer.
Don't bet. But Eddie said he won't play unless it's for money. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, then he's going to lose money.
Well, not to me. He'll take my money. He'll take my money. But no, I don't know. It is a fast. Now, OKC is a little shorthanded, no doubt. The Warriors are shorthanded as well. They're quick. I think they had an off night. I'm not going to put so much stock into that game, but they do match up well with OKC. They play them tough because they're not a heavy passing team. The Oklahoma City Thunder. They don't pass the ball around like they go to State Warriors. Their assist numbers not as high, although their offense is really efficient. They do a lot of one-on-one, which makes you easier to guard. But what do you do if you're the Warriors? What do you do here? Have they already made up their mind that, you know what, there's not a deal out there that can help us? Or have they been trying to make a deal for the last 3 weeks and things haven't? Because the first day people were eligible to be traded, they made a trade for Dennis Schroeder. Boom, boom, boom. We need somebody right away for D'Anthony Melton. It's the perfect storm. Well, I don't know what you do now. I really don't know what you do, what direction you go in.
What's the biggest need? Either position, skill set. What's the biggest need?
To me,
you're not going to solve all of them.
Yeah, you're not going to solve all of them. Shooting and ball handling and playmaking.
Wow, that's still okay. No, I would go shot making. I think this team needs a shot maker. I think more pressure that they can put on the opposing defenses will wear down those offensive wings.
Yeah.
I would say shot making would be, for me, somebody that can put the ball in the hoop, which is crazy because that was never a problem for the Warriors for a decade. And it feels like a big problem right now.
I saw a stat yesterday that if you took Steph Curry off the Warriors, their overall free throw shooting percentage as a team would be 69%.
Bonte, I saw stats about offensive ratings. Okay, we were talking about the league, right?
Right.
And I think people were losing their minds about 12-minute quarters being reduced to 10. 40 plus of the top 50 offensive ratings have happened in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Of all time.
Wow.
Okay? And I think 38 of them are in the last 5 years since COVID. So to give you a sense, all of the numbers, all of the skewing, everything in terms of scoring and offense is completely skewed. And I don't buy it on surface level that one of the greatest offenses of all time was the Sacramento Kings in 2023. Do you?
I
as
don't.
Great as they might have been by the numbers, that my eyeballs tell me, I'm going to go with the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, I'll go with the Showtime Lakers. Yeah. I'll go with the Warriors for back-to-back seasons. And I'll go with the San Antonio Spurs in 2014, the Miami Heat. You would name 20 offenses before you get to that Sacramento offense.
So the Warrior team that had Draymond playing at his highest, when they won 73 games, they would be like a bottom 5 team in terms of three-point attempts this year. To give you an idea of how quickly the league has adjusted and changed. And I look at this Warrior team, and there's just not enough scoring. There's not enough shooting. Yeah. And so the whole league, as much as we all want to talk about point of attack defense and perimeter defense, I understand all of that. Believe me, I get it. You got to have two-way players. And all those guys bring a ton of value. The number one need for this team is a guy, whether it's an ISO or within the fabric of the offense, can score. They need a shooting guard who can score, who's big in the worst way.
No doubt.
It is the number one need of this organization, whether it's the draft, free agency, or
more of a need than rim protection.
What's that?
More of a need than rim protection.
Yes. Does rim protection need to be improved? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you with the two guard.
I think two guard has been their biggest hole. And right to if you ask me, Joe, what could this team add? Give me a 6'8" guy who could dribble a little, can knock down some shots, and is a freak athlete. Just give me that guy right now.
Those 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" shooting guards don't grow on trees anymore like they used to.
No.
They become 3s and 4s. Yeah. But I'm with you. Getting a perimeter player next to, because what happens with Steph Curry when you see a small guard next to Steph? And by the way, shameless shout-outs coming up in 17 minutes. Shameless shout-outs. It just looks small, right? GP2, Schroeder. That trio looks small together. Brandon Pajewski and GP2 and Schroeder, or whether it's Pods and Steph, it's still a small backcourt. And unless you're super quick and athletic, like Cleveland, I'm looking at the Cavaliers. They're rolling right now. But they've hit a bit of a speed bump. And I just wonder in the playoffs, will that backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland play out itself? I have questions about it. Or will they need a bigger guard? Like I look at the Knicks situation, I'm saying, boy, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson in the backcourt. You got OG Anunoby and Josh Hart in the frontcourt alongside Cat. That's the perfect lineup.
When the games slow down.
Especially when they slow down.
That's the other thing I think we need to understand is that a regular season game looks nothing like a playoff game. And the problem with the Warriors team is they've got a bunch of guys who are actually great pieces in a playoff series, but throughout the course of the regular season, don't do what you need to do to catch up a bunch of wins.
206, biggest need. Someone who can get their own bucket.
Which is what we've been kind of talking about.
888-957-9570.
This is why Kuminga's so valuable.
If you had to make a deal, what would that deal be for? What would that deal be for? Would it be for a two guard? Will it be for a guy to get his own bucket? Will it be for a stretch 5, a rim protector? What do you want to see the Warriors do ahead of the deadline as we get ready for the Suns tonight? And the Suns, I think they're 7-3 in their last 10, but it's been a clunky 10. It just feels like the Bradley Beal situation has wiped them out. They're 24-22 on the season. Seriously, Bradley Beal.
But we would die to be 7 of our last 10.
So the Suns right now, 7-3 in their last 10, which is fascinating considering what's been going on. They lost to the T-Wolves the other night. They didn't beat the Clippers. They beat the Wizards. They beat the Nets. They got blown out in Cleveland. They didn't beat Detroit. They beat the Wizards twice during the stretch. Lost to Atlanta. They beat some bad teams. Shasky. They beat the Jazz, Hornets, and the Wizards twice, and the Brooklyn Nets. 5 of those wins coming against the bottom feeders. So I'm not sure how well they're playing. I just know they lost to Minnesota the other night. Ant-Man went crazy with 20, what do you have, 33, 7, and 5? KD had his 33. Still got a Kevin Durant problem, which would be Andrew Wiggins. He'll be defending KD.
Who's on Booker tonight? GP2?
Probably a little GP2, probably some Schroeder. And Book could go. But Bradley Beal coming off the bench, he has 17, so you got to be aware of him.
Do you start Quentin Post again tonight?
Are you going against Nick Richards, a young man from Charlotte who just got traded over from there? You know what? Why not? I know I got Looney coming off the bench.
I love how we're doing lineups these days. Why not?
Well, why not? Make it 29 different starting lineups tonight. But I'm cool with Quentin Post to stretch, but they'll probably put Kevin Durant on Quentin Post. Steve Kerr said it on a podium where he goes, I think wings are going to start defending Quentin Post. Teams are going to start using their wings. And that's probably what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, but that's where the adjustment by the coach and the player needs to happen, where it's like, all right, now start diving. You know what I mean? Start getting into the post. Yes, Quentin Post get into the post. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to be a 7-footer, like, you better start learning the back to the basket stuff so that you can negate them putting the smaller guys on you. Like, that's the adjustment that needs to be made. We're already seeing it. League's adjusting. You got to adjust.
Yep, no doubt.
And I'm not saying you got to turn yourself into, prime Patrick Ewing down there. Just every now and then.
So what you're saying is the Warriors need a Klay Thompson. It'd be nice to have a Klay Thompson, prime Klay Thompson, no doubt about that.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a first ballot Hall of Fame prime Klay Thompson. Yes, I would want to go back to that.
But also, I'm seeing another deal. What about Sexton and John Collins from Utah? I'm out on John Collins.
John Collins has been available every deadline for the last 8 years.
It's a reason for that. Pat
Riley was telling Dan Le Batard when they were sitting down, he's like, we got offered Brooke Lopez every single deadline for 7 straight deadlines. There's a reason we kept saying no.
Hey, that interview with Pat Riley,
all time.
Just let it fly. OG, I want to go there one day. Shasky, one day we could just let it rip and just start airing out everything.
Like, yeah, if you had, Pat Riley's status.
Yeah, Pat Riley. I don't have Pat Riley status. I have some Pat Riley intel.
I love Pat Riley.
Like, just
I used to slick my hair back in the day like that.
Did. No,
yeah, grammar school. Yeah, a lot.
You want to do it like Pat Riley?
Back. Oh yeah. Well, that was the Steve Lavin, the Pat Riley.
What's your hairline? Did you have like the point hairline?
No.
Like the villain? You like the villain? Yeah, the widow's peak.
No.
You like the villains? They always got the widow's peak.
I don't know.
The villains got the suck.
But it would slick it back. That's how I used to play with it. Gelled back because it would get in my hair. Oh yeah, get my eyes. Excuse me.
Toughest part of business is the trade deadline, according to Steve Kerr. That's what he told Grady and Willard.
I know that they all love it here and want to be here, and I feel the same way about them. One of the things in this business, you get really close to people and you build up long friendships and collaborations, and when you're as lucky like we have been to win championships and go to battle, so to speak, with these guys, you don't want to see any of them go. It's hard. So that's the difficult part. I think the players all understand the business, especially the vets. They get it, but that doesn't make it any easier. This is really the toughest part, I think, of the business is right now, trade deadline and a team kind of in flux trying to figure out what to do. It's a tough spot for everybody.
Steve, what do you think about having enough here? Do you have enough on this roster to make a run?
Well, we know talent wins in this league. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win if you have talent. If you don't have enough talent, you can't go anywhere. That's just the reality. So the question we have to ask ourselves, and Mike and the front office have to ask themselves, is do we have enough talent? And that's a tricky question to ask, because on some nights, like last night, you go, hell yeah, we do. Like that looked great, but then other nights, it's clear, like, Steph could use a little help scoring wise, or we could use this, or we could use that. And then of course you sit there and you look at all the options, and you have to determine, does this really help us? And that's what this time is all about. Mike is, gathering all the information, all the possible trades he can make, and going from there.
That's Steve Kerr. What do you make of all that? Shameless shout-outs, by the way.
I just think it's a tough position to be a coach, and for like a month, everyone's speculating what deal you're consummating. And You have to do all these public appearances and be peppered. Similar questions where you can't give an answer because of whether it's tampering or, what if a trade doesn't come through and I say something about one of my guys or whatever. Like, you have to play it so coy. It's just a tough spot to be in. I mean, like, if you went up there, I was like, we're just not good enough. We're trying to swing a deal. You know what I mean?
We like it for content purposes, but your team would hate you, and you would kill all your trade chips.
Do you see what I'm working with?
Yeah. Well, Steve Kerr did say a couple of weeks ago, which is wild. He goes, it's not in our DNA to make free throws and layups. I know what he was saying. He was saying we can't make layups and free throws. Imagine that. I was like, damn, we can't even make layups and free throws, man. It's not in our DNA right now, Dumb Nation.
Look, I love Steve, but I also think Steve's very rigid. And I understand why he acquiesces the way he does when it comes to his offensive philosophy. But I think that it's time, and we've talked a lot about Shanahan's offense needs to evolve. Like, Kerr needs to add layers. That's not me saying he stinks and he's got to go, but the offense needs layers. And I think that, running the same read and react motion system forever, mix in the stuff that some of these guys do well. You've seen Schroeder get opportunities to run more pick and roll, and I think that's why he's playing a little bit better right now. When Kuminga comes back, I think they need to run more of that Steph high pick and roll with him, which they were starting to showcase.
And it was working
a little more.
It was working.
I want them to lean into some of that, and that's uncomfortable for Steve because he's always going to pivot back. And I get where he's coming, but he always pivots back to what his bread and butter is. And I would say to him, your bread and butter needs to kind of evolve.
No doubt. Listen, with Quentin Post, I'm not going to lie, that Bulls game, and it was only the Bulls, and we learned that the Bulls are not any good, but the spacing that Quentin Post provided, I started envisioning JK in that lineup with Steph and Quentin Post.
And the lane open.
And you're running split action.
Yeah.
With those three guys. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, there's going to be a lot of room to operate for JK. A lot more room for Steph Curry to get off his three-point shot. And a lot of room for Quentin Post to hit that three. But we got to make sure we don't put a lot on Quentin Post's plate. He just started playing here. It's on a two-way deal. We got to relax with Quentin Post. Now, that's where it would help to have a Vucevic, who's shooting 45% from three. But it's going to be fascinating to see what the Warriors... Could this be the deadline where the Warriors really make the bold move? Is this the one where they just say, what the hell with it? We're the Golden State Warriors? Because I was thinking about this. Sidey always says it, and I subscribe to it. Once you sign a guy like Kevin Durant, you're in the league now with the Lakers, the Celtics, the Knicks. You're a big boy. You're the big boy. What do big boys do? Whether it's the Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, Lakers, Celtics, Knicks, Heat, in football, the top teams right now, Kansas City's, the Philadelphia's, Detroit, the Niners, always looking to get better, right? Make a big deal. Well, the Warriors do operate like that. Their mindset now has become, we're like the Lakers. We're like we don't have the pedigree of the Lakers, I get it, but over the last decade, they've operated like they're the it team, and they're the most valuable team in the NBA. Their mindset is, we need to compete for championships. We need to win at a high level, and we need to make moves. And I'm sure it's been eaten up at Joe. Like last summer, I know it ate up at the Warriors not to make those moves. Because they tried to go get Larry marketed. Like, I didn't like the move, but they were all in on it. Same thing with Paul George. So I say all that to say is like, if we think that they are in the category with the Lakers and all these big boy teams, then we should expect them to try to make a bold move at the deadline.
I guess my question is, like, do you view the Miami Heat that way?
I think they're one of those teams.
Do you think the common fan and the common NBA player views the Miami Heat that way?
I think the NBA players and they know what Miami embodies, but maybe the casual fan doesn't.
Well, I think maybe, I'm just asking, are we looking at the Warriors through the Warrior lens and everyone's like, nah, man, you guys' time's up. You're getting relegated back to no man's land.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm not saying the front office is thinking that way.
No. But
I'm
the common
saying
fan.
League perception.
Oh, league perception? Well, I think league perception is they know the Warriors want to make some things happen.
Okay.
They know Joe
Lacob. Clippers
Lacob.
viewed that way.
They're not, but you know what? Maybe we should with Steve Ballmer. He puts his money where his mouth is. They made a bold move by letting Paul George walk for free. And they re-signed Kawhi Leonard, even though Kawhi Leonard's barely played the last couple of years. And now look at them. They're in the top 6, and I think they've been the most surprising team in the NBA.
Hands down. I wonder, like, how they're viewed right now. I view them through a championship lens, and, hey, they're going to be in on everybody. But that doesn't mean that, like, They're the it team right now. Like, it fades quick.
It fades quick. Oh,
New England went
doubt.
from the place to be in football to the place you don't ever want to be.
But money talks, right?
No doubt.
Situation matters. Money talks. Where you at talks. Now, New England, I think they're going to be back soon with Mike Vrabel. How soon? We'll see. They seem like they got a decent quarterback in Drake May. But I'm with you. When you're already an it team, you could come crashing down in a heartbeat. OKC was an it team. Then they went into Siberia for 6 years. Now they're the it team again. So